name is Elliot. I wrote the book Life-Led Business, and today I'm going to pull a quote out of this box and tell you what it means. And the quote from the publication today is, "Delegate, why keep a dog and bark yourself?" This comes from the concept of the 8 enterprise states, which I wrote about in the book. And where that comes from is I was thinking, well, what is entrepreneurship? How can anybody understand it? But more importantly, how can you know you're doing it? Being enterprising. Well, this isn't a new concept. The idea of being entrepreneurial goes back to, when someone invented the wheel, in a cave somewhere. And so I thought, there's nothing new here. Enterprise and entrepreneurship, creating something from nothing, is nothing new. This must be a human construct, and I will try and work out how to explain it in a different way than a textbook academic way. So what I did was, I got the book of Proverbs, the Oxford Book of Proverbs, of which there were many. Right? It's about this thick. And I read every one. So I'll read every single proverb because they are rules of humanity. They are short, simple sayings which communicate a message which is about human nature. So I'll read the whole lot. I'll say these top 100 are about enterprise. These are good rules that I could explain to somebody using a proverb about how to be enterprising. Then I'll knock it down to 20, and then I'll knock it down to 10, and then I'll pick 8. And those are the 8 enterprise states. And this one is one of them. Why keep a dog and bark yourself? It's about delegation. And that's a very important aspect of being an entrepreneur, because if I try and do everything myself, I sacrifice time. And time is the only resource that I can't actually create extra time for. I've only got so much time in my day, it's 24 hours. There aren't 25 hours, I can't buy another hour. And so this delegation aspect is where people trap themselves, because I will pay people to do things. I might pay people to do a job as a subcontractor. I might employ somebody to do a job. But if I'm controlling them too much, I'm not letting them bark. I'm the one barking. So I've paid for the dog. It's not a very nice term, I suppose, but it is the proverb. I've paid to have this thing that can make things and do things for me, but I'm not letting it. It's quietly sitting there while I do all the barking. And every time I bark myself, when someone else was employed to do it, I sacrificed some development time, some of my entrepreneurial capability. It's not an optimal enterprise state, because to be optimal, I must make everything out of every second I have in terms of creating new value. So that's what it means. One of the 8 enterprise states, there's 7 more in the book, after reading the entire Oxford Guide of tens and thousands of them. Why keep a dog and bark yourself?